Alright, Father says we need to see the ode and the reed and the race and the rain, which means we don't want to think we're God, and we don't want to live by greed, and we got to see that it's grace and that we're in a human race, and that the grain is really be rain, which we talk about gathering rain, but to use your brain, thus be rain, use your brain to gather the water. And I look at that salt of the earth, not only the preservation like we do know, but I transfer it also to stall, like being a stall for someone, and water as our wheat. The we fill up with we eat is the wheat, which is water. It's a little bit different, but it works. Family tree once again. So we're salt water is the way I look at it, and also a stall. And Jesus washed, W-A-S-H-E-D. That also was shed at the same time. So that's where I get stall and important. By the binding of man's minds, let's remember in the creation he said, you shall eat of the ground, thorns and thistles shall you get. Well, we don't eat thorns and thistles. Those are thoughts. And then he goes on to say you eat from the plants of the field, and the plants as well as animals that eat the plants so they can survive, so we can eat them. So plants, so thorns and thistles is bound in man's eye. And then ironically the ram, R-A-M-S, rams being one of the rams, that's man's thinking, from Mars, M-A-R-S. So there we go. We see, and then on the cross we see the binding here, and he's talked about the serpent, like the serpent up inside of our thinking will keep us bound. We're vessels, we're capsized, we're bound in logic, a log I still see, for not one belief be a leaf on this family tree nowhere. There's no belief. He says, as far as G goes, no G. Host? Yeah, host. Like if we wear the skin we're in and live, then we are a ghost. But if we see that we are with the Father who is hosting us in reality, then we see the true life. So here we see you open up the Ten Commandments, the G, and out comes Jesus Christ, and that is the thought really of your mind entering into the Father's Ten Commandments, yet illustrated as Him opening up to you. But if you seek, you will find His Son's enlightenment, His enlightenment. Technically, of course, everything comes from the Father. There is only one. That's it. So all comes from God Almighty. He refers to Jesus, and He's now our God, and He has that command. But anything He does is always in thought of the Father. Subsequently, it's an extension of the Father, yet an individual nonetheless, Lord knows. So we don't think hell no more. We think heal, like heal in our mind's eye, and also say hello, so we know it's done. We're like the sun and the pupil together in a peanut. So Zion, she says, a peanut is like a bow ties, my bow. For her dumb bow, which this is us, we knows better, and we're all ears, and we fill up our saving cup. And she also says, be my Rambo, and then says boo with regard to the host. And she also says we can be her hero, her O, if you will, with regard to spiritual pleasure of whatnot. So Father also says, so no, not one belief for all belie. Belie means to prove something is unworthy, misrepresented, to be proven as false. So the Father says, for someone to say they believe in me and not to come and find out how I think and all that, that is for someone to truly be a lie, seed, lay, like a clay pot. Because He says, if you don't look to find and understand me, then you have proven yourself to be not worth less, but worth less than, that you have misrepresented him, and that you have proven yourself, thus himself, false. So he says, no one truly shows me mine, or shows me state of mind. So he says, come out of the thinking and see the round table. Although it's round, it has a head, and that head is in the center, and that's the cross where everything transpired. And know that we're thinking like Abel instead of because Cain killed only because Abel thought himself not. And we talk about being the man on the moon, so basically this round table here is like you're the moon going around the skull, thinking of the brain and using the family tree, all those veins and whatnot. 92% remain. So there you have it. I hope that helps. Certainly all from the Father, His blessing, His everything, His grace for you and me and you and him and all of us. I certainly hope this helps. God bless you all.